If you're over 60 and still enjoying that daily glass of milk, you might want to stick around because we have some surprising information for you. You see, while milk has been a staple in many of our diets for years, recent studies suggest that it might not be the best choice for those of us in our golden years. From potential health risks to better alternatives and hearing what the experts say, we're going to cover it all. So grab a seat and stay tuned as we dive into why you might want to rethink that glass of milk and what you can do instead. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of why drinking milk after 60 might not be the best idea. You might be surprised by some of these findings. Broken bones. Contrary to what we've been told for years, drinking a lot of milk might actually increase your risk of fractures. Some studies suggest that high milk consumption doesn't necessarily protect against bone fractures and might even contribute to them. For instance, a study published in the BMJ found that women who drank 3 or more glasses of milk per day had a higher risk of fractures and mortality compared to those who drank less. The researchers speculated that the high lactose and galactose content in milk could increase oxidative stress and inflammation, which might harm bone health. Prostate cancer. Now, let's talk about prostate cancer. Research indicates that high dairy consumption, especially whole milk, has been linked to an increased risk of prostate cancer. A systematic review found that men who consumed large amounts of dairy had a significantly higher risk of developing prostate cancer. Another study from Loma Linda University Health showed that men who consumed about 1 3/4 cups of milk per day faced a 25% increased risk of prostate cancer compared to those with minimal dairy intake. This suggests that something in dairy, possibly the hormones or growth factors, might be contributing to this increased risk. Lactose intolerance. As we age, our bodies often produce less lactase, the enzyme needed to digest lactose, the sugar in milk. This can lead to lactose intolerance, which causes symptoms like nausea, cramps, bloating, and diarrhea. According to WebMD, about 65% of people experience lactose intolerance at some point in their lives, and it's more common as we get older. This can make consuming milk and other dairy products quite uncomfortable for many seniors. Heart disease. Finally, let's discuss heart disease. Milk is a significant source of saturated fats, which have been linked to an increased risk of heart disease. While some studies suggest that moderate dairy consumption might not be harmful, others indicate that high intake of full-fat dairy products can raise LDL cholesterol levels, a known risk factor for atherosclerosis and cardiovascular diseases. A meta-analysis found that whole-fat dairy products, which are high in saturated fats, can increase serum LDL cholesterol, contributing to heart disease. So, while milk has its benefits, it's essential to weigh these potential risks, especially as we age. Stay tuned for some healthier alternatives and expert opinions coming up next. So, if you're thinking about cutting back on milk, don't worry. There are plenty of other ways to get the essential nutrients you need without the potential downsides of dairy. Let's dive into some fantastic alternatives that can help you stay healthy and strong. Leafy greens. First up, leafy greens like kale, broccoli, and bok choy are excellent sources of calcium. Just 2 cups of raw chopped kale provide about 180 milligrams of calcium. Kale is also packed with antioxidants that can help prevent cell damage. According to a study published in Medical News today, these greens are not only low in calories, but also rich in other essential nutrients like vitamin K, which is crucial for bone health. Tofu. Next, let's talk about tofu. Tofu is a versatile and nutrient-dense food that can be a great replacement for dairy. Depending on the brand and firmness, tofu can provide anywhere from 275 to 861 milligrams of calcium per half cup. It's also rich in protein, making it a fantastic option for those looking to maintain muscle mass. A study highlighted by Healthline points out that tofu is also a good source of other important minerals like manganese and selenium. Fortified plant milks. If you still enjoy having a milk-like beverage, consider fortified plant milks like soy milk, almond milk, or oat milk. Soy milk in particular is nutritionally closest to cow's milk and is often fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin B12. An 8-ounce serving of unsweetened soy milk provides about 30% of the daily value for calcium and 26% of the daily value for vitamin D. According to Healthline, drinking soy milk can also help reduce cholesterol and blood pressure levels. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are another excellent source of calcium and other nutrients. For example, chia seeds are tiny powerhouses, offering 179 milligrams of calcium per ounce. They also contain boron, which helps your body absorb calcium and supports bone health. Almonds are another great option. Just 1 ounce provides about 76 milligrams of calcium. However, keep in mind that nuts are high in calories, so it's best to consume them in moderation. White beans. White beans are a low-fat, high-fiber food that also packs a calcium punch. 1 cup of cooked white beans provides about 161 milligrams of calcium. They're also rich in iron and can be easily added to soups, salads, or even mashed into a delicious spread. Dried figs. For those with a sweet tooth, dried figs are a fantastic option. About 8 figs, or 1 cup, provide 241 milligrams of calcium. They also offer a good amount of fiber and antioxidants, making them a healthy and tasty snack. So, as you can see, there are plenty of delicious and nutritious alternatives to milk that can help you meet your dietary needs. Now, let's hear from the experts on the topic of milk consumption, especially for those of us over 60. You might be surprised by what they have to say. Researchers from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, including Dr. David Ludwig and Dr. Walter Willett, have raised some critical points about milk. In a review they co-authored in the New England Journal of Medicine, they argued against the current government recommendations that adolescents and adults consume 3 daily servings of dairy. They found that while milk can help children grow taller, it may not be as beneficial for adult bone strength as once thought. In fact, countries with the highest dairy consumption also tend to have the highest rates of hip fractures. This suggests that high milk intake might not be the bone-strengthening solution we once believed it to be. Cancer risks. Another concern raised by experts is the potential link between high dairy consumption and certain cancers. For instance, a study funded by the National Cancer Institute found that replacing dairy milk with soy milk was associated with a 32% lower risk of breast cancer in women. Similarly, non-fermented soy products like tofu and soy milk were linked to a 30% reduced risk of prostate cancer in men. These findings suggest that the hormones and high-fat content in dairy might contribute to cancer risks, making plant-based alternatives a safer choice. Heart disease. When it comes to heart health, the saturated fats found in whole milk can be problematic. According to a meta-analysis, high intake of full-fat dairy products can raise LDL cholesterol levels, a known risk factor for heart disease. Dr. Neil Barnard from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine also points out that replacing dairy with soy milk can reduce several risk factors for heart disease, including total and LDL cholesterol, blood pressure, and inflammatory markers. Digestive issues? Lactose intolerance is another issue that becomes more common as we age. About 65% of people experience lactose intolerance at some point in their lives, leading to symptoms like nausea, cramps, and bloating. This can make consuming milk and other dairy products quite uncomfortable for many seniors. Environmental and ethical considerations. Beyond personal health, there are also environmental and ethical considerations. The production of dairy has a significant environmental impact, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, and land degradation. As a result, many people are turning to plant-based alternatives not just for health reasons, but also to reduce their environmental footprint. So, while milk has been a dietary staple for many of us, it's clear that there are some compelling reasons to reconsider its place in our diets, especially as we get older. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more health tips and insights. We'd love to hear from you. Are you over 60 and thinking about cutting back on milk? Have you already made the switch to other alternatives? Drop a comment below and share your experience with us. Your story could help others make informed choices too. Also, check out the next video on the screen to stay informed if you're over 60. Catch you in the next video.